type of podcast.
Welcome to the Empty Noggin Podcast. I'm a shell of a man.
This is going to be one of the most electric podcasts we have ever done, people.
Do you want to hear something actually sad, Scott? That I don't think you know.
How sad?
It's really sad. I mean, you're going to find great joy in it because it brings me so much pain.
Yeah, tell me.
The actual song title for our intro music is called Get Over It.
Oh, get over it, buddy.
I can't get over it. Jamarr freaking Chase, dude.
Can we? I just want to talk about this. So I'm at home on the couch. I'm gonna paint a scenario real quick. I just got done walking a doggy, chilling on the couch, just watching, enjoying the game. Topher comes in and looks at the overhead lights like somebody had just talked about his mother. Doesn't acknowledge me, doesn't greet the dog, nothing. Just looks at the lights, pissed off, turns them off, and just storms into the kitchen.
I turned off every light and immediately wanted to shrimp curl into a deep, dark cave after, let me tell you, my day. I was just on a roller coaster of emotions all day. I was thinking I was up, thinking I was down. I had great performances. I had terrible performances. I saw my bench pop off for 20 points apiece. Gavin and I just going back and forth.
Do the whole breakdown. You had the whole player breakdown earlier. Do the whole player breakdown.
I'll give you the player breakdown. All right. So the roller coaster begins. All right. Begins with Dak Prescott putting up 29 points. I take it back. This all begins with Tony Pollard.
There it is. This is what we wanted.
This all begins with Tony Pollard.
Go off, King.
Not just hurting my soul and putting up a third of his projection, but also ruining our team parlay that we had for the league.
That asshole.
So that's the early slate of games. I think I'm doomed. And then, afternoon slate of games, Dak Prescott comes through, rushing touchdown and everything, puts up 30 points. I'm feeling good against Gavin. And then I start getting texts about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold puts up 23. Gavin's back in this game. I don't like the way it's going. Zach Charbonnet puts up 25. Still don't like it. We go into tonight, and I've got a chance. All that needs to happen is Josh Allen needs to have a Josh Allen game, and Trevor Lawrence needs to have a Trevor Lawrence game. The one thing that could have gone wrong, and the one thing that did go wrong, was Jamarr Chase. I was on my way home from work. I worked a 12-hour day. I'm on my way home. It is 8:30 p.m. I turn on my truck, and the first thing I hear on XM radio is, "From way deep, over the shoulder, catch Jamarr Chase again." And it was the again that really set me off.
I want to take credit for that one because that was seconds after I had posted in the group chat. I was just getting comfy on the couch and just firing off messages, and I manifested that.
I ended up with 145 points.
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, okay. So, wait, I'm going to do an impression of someone in our league.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Alex Orbeck.
Oh, don't ruin the surprise. Okay, here's my impression. Ready?
Go ahead.
I scored 145 points. It was second highest in the league, and I still lost.
Alex Orbeck.
Oh, my God, dude. You're so smart. I'm broken. Okay, normally we crack beers on this podcast. I'm drinking rum and Gatorade out of a Moscow Mule mug because that's the first thing I could find. You know what?
I could see it, though, right? Rum and a punch drink.
It's not bad. You want to try it?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Whiskey is for winners, by the way.
You drink rum in a random mixer.
Yeah, because that's what I deserve after losing this heartbreaking matchup.
The tantrum, I want to just highlight the tantrum that happened. He comes in, looks at the overhead lights like they have offended Cindy, slams them off, doesn't acknowledge me or Nova, walks in, just looks in the refrigerator, throws stuff in there, moves it around, and then just collapses on his side, on his couch. Proceeds to dramatically roll off onto the ground, one limb at a time. First it was his left elbow and shoulder, then it was his right arm, then it was his torso, followed by one leg, then the next, and then all of a sudden shoes are being hurled. The tantrum that was thrown tonight.
What you saw was the football fan leaving my body one limb at a time.
And here's the thing. I think in week 1, I canceled fantasy football no less than 5 or 6 times. And I've canceled. I even offered to let Ben manage my team this week. On a week where I won, I was going to give my team away. what you did was above and beyond tonight.
I've never been so happy about my team going into a work event only to be crushed leaving that work event when I checked the first time that I checked the score.
Alex Orbeck told me something similar today when we were texting. He said, I loved my team preseason. Going into it, I liked it, and I'm going to be 0-3 at the end of this night. And he called it as he is 0-3. Do we want to keep going, or do we want to? I have a couple of notes I'd like to highlight.
I think you should talk for a little bit while I gather myself.
So this emergency podcast is awesome. Completely, obviously off the cuff. We have planned nothing but just talking about our emotions. One thing I was planning on, though, I took notes, again, as I meticulously prepare for this podcast each week. I took notes starting this morning. My first note, Monday, 9/23 at exactly 8:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yes, I 100% have a management issue. Wesley Fall. Monday, 9/23 at 8:38. I sealed my own fate being an idiot. And then I don't have the timestamps or the receipts for the Tim Tebow 2008 31-30 defeat by the other Florida Gators by the Ole Miss Rebels led by Jevin Sneed and Dustin McCluster. However, wow, talk about canceling fantasy football season. I sealed my own fate because I am an idiot.
I think, well, first of all, that's fantastic. And seeing that you kept the receipt for Wesley's message makes me that makes me feel marginally better.
I was so ready for this moment.
I love this. I could get on board with the Big Feelings podcast being a regular thing.
Oh,
this is what fantasy should be about. Am I right? Like,
I love it's not an no longer will these be
it's a Big Feelings.
These are Big Feelings pods. It's sometimes you just need to get online and let the feelings go. Don't even think about what you're saying. Just let them go.
Yeah. So welcome to my therapy. Let's talk about matchups real quick. We've already talked enough about mine.
Oh, we're gonna do okay. Yeah.
We can circle back to it, but I think they've heard enough about mine for a little bit.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about Saquon These Nuts versus the comeback story of the year, best comeback since Kim Kardashian? Saquon These Nuts versus Average Joe's.
I would love to talk about this matchup. Corey, sorry, we were going to have you on the podcast, but we are doing the Big Feels podcast, emergency podcast. It's not looking like we're going to be able to put something out later this week, so we did decide to go ahead and hop on here. I would like to, one thing I want to highlight is what Corey has already highlighted, and that's Stevenson with the 0.3 points, and even DeAndre Swift, who's been underperforming all year with 6.2 points. However, he still puts up 127 points on the back of Joe Burrow with 25.36 and Dallas Goedert with 27 points. I'm positive, this is no hyperbole here, Dallas Goedert was the only wide receiver / tight end / person that could catch the football on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles because he got every look and every pass. Starting him looks like a genius move. Jets defense was 16 points, and then Chris Godwin was 17 points. Really, it's kind of like overproduction, underperformance, a little bit of each direction.
You want to talk a little bit about the stellar quarterback play from Saquon These Nuts?
Yeah, Saquon These Nuts looking tough. Traded away Trevor Lawrence, who again was a Trevor Lawrence. However, started Anthony Richardson with 5.08 points and Derek Carr 7.98 points. I want to start with Anthony Richardson, somebody I was high on and a lot of people were high on to go into the season. However, he has not performed at all. And you would think with somebody with his leg talent, as long as he stayed healthy, he was going to put up points, and he has not. And then most disappointingly, Derek Carr. Again, he went in there and spit cheddar to get Derek Carr $51 of his fab money to put up 7.98 points in this very next game. That's a game that hurt both of us. We looked at that game. Wait, I think.
Hold on. Are you running the numbers?
He's running the numbers here, guys.
Numbers, real quick.
Okay.
Turns out that the actual calculator that I have needs sunlight, I think, to turn on. It's one of those. So
that's for all of you at home, that's the gray calculator in the 1990s that your parents for sure definitely had.
It's a Casio.
It's a Casio, yeah.
For that. Okay, so hold on. He spent how much fab? 51?
$51 out of a possible 100.
Okay. And then was
7.98, yeah. How many dollars per point is that? He is from Alabama, folks, so bear with him.
I would just like to report out. Hold on.
That's calculating.
Okay. Yep. Calculating. We've run the numbers. Patrick Dragon spent $6.39 fab dollars per point as Derek Carr.
Now, I'm not good with these things. Is that a good ROI?
I'm going to say no.
No, I don't think so. Gut instinct says it's no. That was a game that was personally tough to watch for the both of us Because what the fuck?
Yeah, add that to my roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
Just watching the Saints come crashing back down to earth.
As you were decked in head to toe in Saints gear, I think you had your Saints thong on.
Yeah, I've never taken all my Saints gear off so fast after the last snap of the game.
The one thing I do want to, well, I guess I'll highlight a couple of things. Number one, Saquon Barkley went fucking ham. He went absolutely off. Justin Jefferson had another Justin Jefferson game. Who the fuck is Brenton Strange, and why is he putting up 9 points?
Shout out Pat Dragon for starting Brenton Strange and getting a touchdown out of him.
Yeah,
Actually, kind of dope.
no, yeah, I mean that was a wild move. Jacksonville's tight end. You have faith in that ever? I guess Evan Ingram's out, and
Big Trevor Lawrence guy. That's why I traded him.
Yeah, there's your stack that you missed out on.
All right. Anything else on this game before I move on to my brother from another mother?
That'll be it. You got it.
All right. Let me talk about just win, baby. Looking at going 3-0 in our league. We're letting the newcomer go 3-0 out of Salt Lake City, mainly because he got a 46.5 point performance from Jawan Jennings.
Again, a human being I had never heard of. Brenton Strange level.
Brenton Strange level of notoriety from Jawan Jennings.
Fuck is that guy?
Yeah, that was a wild performance. Literally career game for Jawan Jennings. People are talking about how he might be the greatest receiver of all time. Who's Jerry Rice? No. Next thing you need to know is Jawan Jennings. Nope, Randy Moss, not important. Jawan Jennings.
There you go. He's the future.
The future of the franchise. Jawan Jennings putting up 46.5. Great for CJ. Frustrating for Alex Orbeck, and Dobbins is a free elf who only lost this matchup by 4 points total.
Ouch. We'll transition right next into is that all you have for that?
Yep. No, just shout out Jaden Daniels putting up 28 points for Alex Orbeck. Almost enough to bring him all the way back and make up for Jawan Jennings. Jaden Daniels, fun to watch.
Fun to watch. I said it several times tonight. He might be him.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of this game when I was lying on the floor melting. And Jaden Daniels was genuinely fun to watch him throw to Terry McLaurin. Good to see Terry McLaurin finally getting the quarterback play he wants.
Yeah, that was exciting. Exciting to watch a young player excel, especially after maybe a little bit of a turbulent start. So next we'll go into Hawk Tua, Corey Funderburg versus Bauer Power. Yours truly, Scott Sharp.
Never heard of him.
Corey Funderburg coming in at 0-2. Myself coming in at 1-1. I'm going to take this game 135.92 to 120.14. It was a highly contested game. And if Corey Funderburg wanted to, he could go, oh, well, I scored 120 points. I'll beat 5 out of 6 other teams.
No, only one person does that in this league, and that's Alex Orbeck.
Okay. Certainly not anybody else.
No, certainly not anybody else in this room.
Okay, got it. To look at the highlights, we'll look at Corey Funderburg's team first. Chris Olave with 20.6 points, hawking all the looks from my Rashid. Oh my God, did I just have a stroke?
Derek Carr.
Shahid.
Derek Carr just calls him Sheed. I don't know if you've heard me.
I did. Yeah.
Derek Carr just calls him Sheed.
I think that's the way.
Which I think is the move because I'm gonna get twisted up every time.
Man, that alliteration's tough. And then a surprising or encouraging 21.04 points from Aaron Rodgers. Outside of that, not really. And Derrick Henry, who absolutely hawked the ball all game. I don't know what his age is, but it doesn't matter. He
doesn't age because he's not a human.
Because he's Tractorcito. Not much to highlight on that. Looking at my team, Jalen Hurts, disappointing 10.94 points. I'm pretty sure he leads the galaxy in turnovers over the past 2 years. Actually, I know that's a fact. He does lead the league in turnovers, at least quarterbacks.
All Galaxy turnover team.
Jameer Gibbs, 16.3. Encouraging to see, although I think it's Montgomery that's his backup that's hawking it.
David Montgomery. And they weren't necessarily listed as backups. It was supposed to be a timeshare between those two. Jameer Gibbs was supposed to get all the passing work. But, I mean, honestly, both running backs putting up numbers so far.
Yeah, they're both doing good. I'm Rashee Rice, 29 points. I have got several trade offers for Rashee, and I've hung on to him for this reason because I think this is not going to be his last explosive game, and especially as long as whatever the beef is between Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, I'm not sure what it is.
Dude, they are fighting
They're in a feud, and it could be the girlfriend situation, wife situation, because I think, yeah.
Is there drama?
Oh, yeah. I think Brittany Mahomes is a Trump supporter and Taylor Swift is a Kamala supporter, so maybe that's bleeding into the field.
I think you just broke my brain because now I'm sitting here wondering how I can just pepper their Instagram accounts with memes and try to resolve the situation because I need Travis Kelce to start putting up again.
This could be personal. Devonta Smith got crushed at the end of the game. He was looking good, getting a lot of receptions, getting a lot of looks. Ends up with 15 points. Brock Bowers, a pedestrian, 7 points compared to what he's been putting up with. Brock Purdy, welcome to the fucking NFL 2024 season, bud. 25.78 points. Jake Elliott, my kicker, going with an astonishing 0 points because he got his field goal but missed a 60-yarder. That's right, folks, a 60-yarder. DK Metcalf goes off again on my bench for 20 points. What I want to highlight is just the gumption, the pure courage, the pure just gonads that I had to start Aaron Jones, and he rewards me with 25.8 points. I would say that he was my savior for the week, or maybe Brock Purdy.
Just to be clear, you came on the Big Feelings pod to talk about the size of your nuts.
How does it make you feel?
I mean, I wasn't playing you, so it doesn't matter. I mean, just always remember that I beat you.
In week 1. And I had that would have been a big feels.
Had we known this was an option, we would have done it.
One other thing I do want to highlight, I was looking at it. It looks like we now have 3 teams. I think we were at 4 or 5 before the start of the game. The game's tonight, but we have 3 teams that finished under 100. As we said last week, the benchmark that we like to go by at least is at least 100 points in the game. Dragon East football with 94.38. Can you Diggs at 92.2. And Saquon D's nuts at 98.16 points.
We can circle back and just kind of do a quick little recap here, but while you've been talking, I've been doing a little bit of research just because I'm curious about 2 people on your team. One named Rashi, the other one named Rashid.
Yes.
So you have Rashid Shaheed and Rashi Rice. Rashi was born in the year 2000. He's 24 years old.
Okay.
Rashid was born in 1998. He's 26 years old.
Yeah,
I was wondering if there was like a major event that led to the popularity of these types of names coming from. I cannot find anything that links these 2 together other than the fact that the name Rashid, which is spelled like Rashi but with a D on it, like Rashid Shaheed, originated in Arabic, and it means rightly guided. It could also mean having the true faith or the high one.
There you go. And that is why you listen to this podcast, for that type of content and that type of research right there. Is this my inner Arabic, my Lebanese side starting to show on my team composition?
Do you just have a proclivity toward people with Arabic-sounding names?
I think I saw those names and I was like, holy shit. Do we?
My brother.
Yeah. Do we have any Muhammads or Meds out there that I can go
Dude,
get?
what if we drafted an all-Arabic team? That I would honestly... I mean... Isaiah is a biblical name of sort.
It is. Seth. People forget about Seth.
Is that a biblical name?
Yeah.
You have 2 Brocks on your team.
Oh, I do. Maybe I'm a big Brock guy.
Big Pokemon, Rock Gym, Brock guy.
Also played high school baseball against a guy named Brock. He was a dandy dozen and a stud.
I think what started off as my therapy pod is going to... I
think we've really ventured off the beaten path here.
All right, we're going to circle back. We're going to wrap up the St. Brown, the Broken Hearts matchup here against LaPorte Authority. Shout out Gavin putting up 150 points. Anytime we break 150 in this league, it is commendable. Mainly on the back of Sam Darnold, Jamarr Chase, as we already discussed, but also Zach Charbonnet putting up numbers there in Seattle. On my bench, I left a lot of points on the table, but also so did Gavin, so I can't be too mad about that. Gavin dealing with a Deebo Samuel injury, so on the bench there with 0. DJ Moore putting up 15. Justin Fields with 18. Interesting for quarterback. Zach Moss putting up 20. And then on my bench, I had David Montgomery, 21. Devin Singletary, 18. And then Roma Dunze finally coming through for Chicago with 23 points, but all for naught. Still leading to the L. Scott, do you have any more big feelings we need to discuss?
Is the success going to Corey Eller's head?
People are saying that he might not be able to. People are saying that maybe he should act like he'd been there. I mean,
he hasn't. An unprompted quote from Corey Eller in the chat today. My team just finds ways to win. We don't put a ton of points up week to week, but we make it happen right now. You got to love that, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, you win 3 games, all of a sudden you're on top of the world. I mean, it is the greatest comeback story, and we have been hyping him up. This has been a Corey Eller podcast for 2 weeks.
We declared it, I think, week 1 that we were a Corey Eller podcast.
We're officially a Corey Eller podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Do we want to, I don't know if we want to wrap it up or do we want to discuss the open trade negotiations that we had in the chat?
Yeah, go for it. You're better at keeping up with those than I am. So give me the rundown, and I'll give you my immediate reaction.
So we had Alex Dragon offering Tariq and Rashad.
No. Wait, what?
My thoughts exactly.
All right, keep going.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We had Alex Dragon offering up Tariq and Rashad for JT and Mike Evans.
I am intrigued that he's... Okay, so Alex Dragon is looking to get Mike Evans?
Correct.
That, to me, is interesting because Chris Godwin has been the guy in Tampa Bay. And I'm curious if this is the year. I'm not hating on Mike Evans. I would never. The man's like only ever put up 1,000-yard seasons.
Every season since the beginning of the NFL.
I get that. But if there is going to be a season where he doesn't put up 1,000 yards, it might be this one where Chris Godwin's off to a hot start and Mike Evans is another year older.
Conversely, he's trying to give up Tyreek, and I think the motivation is obvious. It's because we don't know for the rest of the season who's going to be throwing to Tyreek. My gut instinct right now, like I said, I never like to be the one to give up the best player in a trade. And you would think that instinctively that would be Tyreek, but moving forward, you have to feel like that's JT, right?
Yeah, here's my reasoning why I wouldn't be on the receiving Mike Evans part of this trade. It's because Mike Evans was born in August of 1993,
Okay.
which is a month before I was born,
Okay.
and my knees hurt.
Yeah.
And I am not a professional athlete.
I played fantasy or flag football today, and I could cry.
So I can only, imagine how Mike Evans feels.
Ouch.
The man is in pain. Yeah, no, I don't like that trade at all. It looks like that trade didn't go through, so.
No, I think Orb said no pretty fast. He said he wanted to keep some people and not and whatever else. But I just thought it's always fun when when trades happen in front of your eyes and you can see the negotiation process.
Yeah, wait, who outed who in that trade? Because normally trade negotiations just go back and forth between two players. Who put it in the group text?
Alex Dragon said something, hey.
He brought it in as a negotiating tool.
He
He
said,
was trying to get the deal done.
yeah, he said, hey, check it out. And then I said, share the deets. And so he shared the deets.
I like that you asked for that detail.
Hashtag content, baby.
Yeah, smart man. Good thinking. And that's what makes this podcast great. Any other feelings you have before I can wrap this up and do little to no editing and just hit send on this bad boy?
I would like to thank you for your courage. Because initially this was a firm no. You were not getting on.
You're right. This is really big of me.
This is very big of you. I reckon.
People are.
No.
People are saying.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I recognize that it's probably going to be my turn to do a Big Feels pod at some point. And know that
the next time that you get beat with a 5-point loss on your drive home because of one touchdown pass, you can do a Big Feelings pod.
that you manifested.
I'm so upset. I'm even more upset that I couldn't find the GIF of Frau Farbissna from Austin Powers. So I had to use a still image, and I'm glad that you still got the joke, but I needed that GIF, and I'm so upset that it doesn't exist in my group text. Anyway.
Good times.
On that note.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.
All right, yep. Thanks for joining me in therapy. I'll send you the bill. We'll share it.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. All right. Send it.